Why it is known as ionic bond? Because it is formed between two ions, that is cation and anion. So we may say cation and anion being oppositely charged attract each other and form a bond, and that bond is known as ionic bond. Now next part is electrovalency. Now what is the definition of electrovalency? These are number of electrons that an atom loses or gains. Means, for example, in the previous example, that is NaCl, sodium is losing one electron and at the same time chlorine is gaining one electron. An electron given by sodium and an electron gained by chlorine is electrovalency of sodium and chlorine. So sodium has electrovalency 1 and chlorine has also electrovalency 1. So whatever number of electrons they are losing or gaining, that will be the electrovalency of an atom. So next part is conditions for the formation of electrovalent bond. There are basically three conditions necessary for the formation of electrovalent bond. First one is low ionization potential. Second is high electron affinity. Third is large electronegativity difference. Now come to the first point, that is low ionization potential. Now if suppose an atom has low ionization energy, as you have studied in periodic table chapter also, same way, suppose let's take an example of sodium. Sodium has 2, 8 and 1. 3 shells are there. So last electron is away from the nucleus. The force of attraction is very weak. Due to weak force of attraction, it will easily lose electron and will change into positive ion. Reason? Ionization energy is very low. Why ionization energy is low? Because the size of sodium is big, because being a alkali metal. So easily it will lose electron, easily it will combine with the negative ion, and very easily it will form a electrovalent bond. So for the formation of electrovalent bond, an atom should have low ionization potential or low ionization energy, which depends upon the size of an atom. Now come to the second point. Second is high electron affinity. Again, high electron affinity depends upon the size. Smaller the size, more will be the electron affinity. Now let's take the case of chlorine. Chlorine being halogen has the smallest size, which has electronic configuration 2, 8 and 7. Due to small size, the last electron is attracted towards the nucleus and easily it can gain electron and will change into a negative ion. Easily it will form a negative ion. Easily it can combine with positively charged sodium and results in the formation of ionic bond between sodium and chlorine. So more the value of electron affinity, more easily it will gain electron, more easily it will gain electron, more easily it will combine with the positive ion and ultimately results in the formation of electrovalent bond. Now third factor is, or third condition is large electronegativity difference. Now what is the meaning of this point? If suppose the element is present on the extreme left side of the periodic table and other present on the extreme right side of the periodic table, there will be large electronegativity difference because one can easily lose electron, other can easily gain electron. Same example we can take. Sodium being positively charged combines with negatively charged chlorine very easily. Reason being, sodium is more electropositive, chlorine is more electronegative. So bond between electropositive and electronegative element is known as ionic bond. Moreover, there is large difference in electronegativity. Electronegativity of chlorine is more than that of sodium. So third factor is, if the large electronegativity difference is there, then it results in the formation of 100% ionic bond. And in whole of the periodic table, cesium fluoride is most ionic compound. Now why cesium fluoride is most ionic compound? Reason being, cesium has maximum size, low ionization energy, therefore it can easily lose electron. Same way, fluorine has minimum size, easily gain electron due to more electronegativity, therefore the bond will be most ionic, or 100% ionic compound is formed between cesium and fluorine. Moreover, cesium is most metallic and fluorine is most non-metallic element. So we may say cesium fluoride is the most ionic compound in the periodic table. Now let's discuss the structures of different electrovalent compounds, which are very important from board point of view. So 3 examples are there in your syllabus. One is NaCl, second is MgCl2, and the third one is calcium chloride. Now let's discuss one by one. First one, sodium chloride, which we have already discussed also. Now let's revise this. I repeat again. Sodium electronic configuration 281. So in order to become stable, sodium will lose electron and will change into a positive ion which has electronic configuration 2 and 8. Now let's compare a neutral sodium atom with a positively charged sodium ion, which is given in your book at page number 23. Now regarding first point is color. Sodium is silvery white in color. You may consult your book also. Sodium is silvery white in color. Sodium ion is colorless. Sodium is poisonous. Sodium ion is non-poisonous. Why so? Because sodium ion is stable. Sodium itself is a poisonous in nature. Sodium is very active. Why it is active? Because it has not acquired a octet rule. So in order to become stable, it has to lose electron, and sodium ion is inactive. Sodium has incomplete outermost shell, definitely, because it has only 1 electron in the last shell. But sodium ion is stable, outermost shell is complete because it had 8 electrons in the last shell. Then sodium is neutral in nature. Sodium ion is positively charged. Sodium always exists in the combined state because it is unstable. Therefore, definitely it will combine with some other element to become stable. But sodium ion has independent existence. So this sodium is entirely different from a positively charged sodium ion. Same way, chlorine 2, 8 and 7, it will gain 1 electron and will change into Cl negative, which has 2, 8 and 8. 8 electrons in the last shell. Therefore, outermost shell is complete and it is stable. Now, the electron which is given by sodium is transferred to chlorine and both the atoms become stable. Therefore, a bond between sodium ion and chloride ion is formed, and that bond is known as electrovalent bond. Now let's compare same way Cl neutral atom and Cl negative. That is also given in your book at page number 23. Cl is greenish yellow in color. Cl negative is colorless. Same way, Cl is poisonous. Cl negative is non-poisonous. Chlorine gas has suffocating smell, but Cl negative being stable, it does not have any smell. Very active, inactive. Incomplete outermost shell because it has 7 electrons in the last shell. Complete outermost shell because it has 8 electrons in the last shell. Cl is neutral, Cl negative is negatively charged. So this way we may say neutral chlorine atom is different from negatively charged chloride ion. Now listen students, orbital diagram is not there in the scope of the syllabus, but it is given in your book. We are to do only electron dot symbols for all the examples. Orbital structure was there in class 9th, so we have already studied. So we will do only electron dot symbol which is given in the scope of the syllabus. So first example is NaCl. Electron dot, you already know. Electron dot means we will draw the structure with the help of dots around the atom. Now let's start. Sodium has one valence electron. Therefore, we will write one dot around sodium. Chlorine has 7 electrons in the last shell. Therefore, we will draw 7 dots around chlorine. Sodium will give its 1 electron to the chlorine so that both the atoms become stable. After transferring electron, sodium will form a positive ion. Why positive ion? Because it has given its electron to chlorine. And chlorine having 8 electrons around it, and it will carry negative charge. Why negative charge? Because it has taken electron from sodium ion. Now both sodium ion and chloride ion are stable. So we may say a bond is formed between sodium and chlorine, and this bond is known as ionic bond. Now let's discuss the second example which is there in your syllabus. That is MgCl2, magnesium chloride, which contains 1 atom of magnesium and 2 atoms of chlorine. As you know, magnesium electronic configuration is 2, 8 and 2. In order to become stable, it will lose 2 electrons and will form, or it will convert into positively charged ion, which is Mg plus 2, having configuration 2 and 8. Now this Mg positive 2 is stable. Now electron which is given by magnesium, it is gained by chlorine. But how many atoms of chlorine? 2 atoms, because 2 electrons are given by magnesium. So it will change into 2Cl negative having configuration 2, 8, 8. Earlier it was 2, 8 and 7. So there will be transfer of 2 electrons from magnesium to chlorine. Now after giving electrons, this Mg positive 2 will combine with 2 atoms of chloride ion and ultimately results in the formation of MgCl2. Now both become stable, magnesium also, chloride ion, and the bond formed is known as ionic bond. Now let's draw the electron dot structure of MgCl2. Same way as we have done in NaCl, magnesium has 2 valence electrons and chlorine has 7 valence electrons. So magnesium will give these 2 electrons to how many chloride and chlorine atoms? 2 chlorine atoms, and ultimately magnesium will carry positive 2 charge and chlorine will carry negative charge. But how many atoms? 2 atoms. So 2 atoms will gain 2 electrons and a bond is formed between magnesium and chlorine, and it is known as MgCl2. So orbital diagram is not there, so that we will not do. Now the third example which is there in your syllabus is of calcium oxide. Now let's discuss calcium oxide, CaO. As you know, calcium electronic configuration is 2, 8, 8 and 2. So in order to become stable, it will lose 2 electrons and will form a positive ion which has configuration 2, 8 and 8. So these 2 electrons which is given by sodium, it will be gained by oxygen. Oxygen electronic configuration is 2 and 6. So it needs 2 electrons to become stable, and negative charge, how many negative charge will be there? -2, which has configuration 2 and 8. So this positively charged ion will combine with negatively charged oxygen atom, and an ionic bond is formed between calcium and oxygen. So this bond is also known as electrovalent bond. Now let's draw the Lewis dot. In Lewis dot, same way, 2 electrons with calcium combining with 6 electrons which are present in the last shell, and 2 are given by calcium. As 2 are given by calcium, after giving electrons, calcium will carry a positive charge. Now oxygen has taken 2 electrons from where? From calcium. Therefore it will acquire a negative charge, and it will form a bond between them, and that bond is known as ionic bond. Calcium is electropositive, oxygen is electronegative. So after forming bond, both become stable. So there is a electrostatic force of attraction. So these are 3 examples which are there in the syllabus, and Lewis dot structure is very important from board point of view. So revise it carefully.